Hey everyone, Colgate here, and today I wanted to talk about Kirby Fighters 2. If you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know that after I stopped posting Smash Bros. Content, I switched to Kirby Fighters 2. Um, and why is that, you may ask? Well, I played this game competitively, and then ended up becoming one of the best players in the world, specifically the best Meta Knight in the world, a while back, around the time I was making the videos. But why? Why would someone play this game about cute little Kirbys in a competitive setting? Because after all, this is just basically a give me some money game from the Kirby company, right? They're like, hey, we need some money for Forgotten Land, so give us some money. And to an extent, that is true. But what ended up happening was the developers created one of the most rewarding yet most brutal fighting games that I have ever been a part of, that I have ever played. And it all comes down to little decisions that I don't even know if they realized it at the time, but that make this game so much deeper than you possibly could realize. Um, it is crazy the amount of knowledge that you get just from like studying this game. It's just a funny little Kirby game. Because in the first one, I only played the first one like casually, just a little bit on my, I believe it was 3DS at the time, and it was cute, it was fun, it was wholesome. But I never or figured it would be, filled with deep mechanics or whatnot. And then Kirby Fighters 2 came out, and I said, "Hey, look, that's a sequel to a game that I enjoyed. Let's get on that." And what I ended up coming out of was one of the most interesting experiences that I've had. Um, this game will punish you if you're not on top of your game. Uh, will punish you if you're not doing your combos properly. If you're not literally perfect in your timing. You see how Shield has no shield drop frames? Um, you are able to use this very effectively to get in on projectiles. You have to time it really well, because you can keep, at the very least with water, you can keep running if you shield, as you keep your dash state, as it's called, and it's very important for this particular game, because if you don't have a dash state, then your moves will be different in the air. For example, this is Hammer's regular jump attack. If you're dashing, then it'll be a lot different. So, as you can see, any character, you can just shield and keep running. If you shield too long, you'll start to walk. So imagine you're running, block a projectile, and then you jump, and then you do this. This is a very good punish. But if you hold shield for too long, and you jump, and you do that, your momentum is now gone, and you might not hit your target. So stuff like this, it's very minute, but it comes up so often. The amount of precision you have to have for this game is, shielding projectiles, like blocking just attacks. You can block multi-hits and punish because there's no shield drop lag, or any shield drop frames. So you can literally drop your shield and just punish as if it was like any other attack, or like a grab out of shield. Grab out of shield isn't even great in this game only because you can do anything out of shield that your heart desires. So I think that by itself is already pretty interesting. There's a lot of other stuff as well that plays a part. There's moves that give you like a crouching state. Not many, but they do exist. And you're able to like go under a lot of attacks. They're literally like in a game with like a little ball as the character. Some moves will just miss this because Kirby right here doesn't actually have a hitbox. It's just the or a hurt box. It's just the foot. It's very funny when visualized. But now that I've got you all here, you might be asking, okay, you've talked about how it's difficult. You know, you've talked about how brutal it can be, right? I can tell you, I can talk for hours about how Water Kirby can just combo you across the stage mercilessly. I can talk to you about how Ninja will hit you 2 or 3 times and you're already about to die and you don't even know how you got there. I could talk for hours about how Wrestler will just grab you literally 6 times. If Wrestler grabs you 6 times, it's over. That's it. You got 6 chances. Not to mention, obviously, any other damage that he can do, but the grabs hurt. And they are frame 1, and it's a problem. I can talk to you about how Magalore, the current believed to be number 1, is just a fantastic, crazy, wild character. He has a frame 1 explosion on a grenade. Think of it like, what if Snake, but instead of him saying now and then exploding the thing, before he starts to say now, that's when the thing explodes. And also it covers like 1/4 of the screen, so that's fun. I could talk to you about all that. He's got spikes that will just stop your attacks, hurt you, shield, stun you, so he can grab you. So the top tiers in this game are crazy, wild bananas. In that way, it's very much Melee-esque, where the top tiers are able to just fight amongst themselves. In this sort of like, the peasants are here to watch these incredible characters like show off their amazing skills. Obviously, the lower tier characters can still put up a fight sometimes, and they don't have the worst matchups in the world. But it definitely is very much like the top tier characters are very well defined. But here's the thing. I don't know if any of that is the best reason to play this game. You know what is the best reason to play this game? And that's because Meta Knight. Meta Knight is a character that embodies what I like about a game. It's just the freedom to do whatever you want. We talked about dash state a little while ago. And Meta Knight, if he jumps, he just does this, right? Just a little bonk. By the way, this move is very, very good. Like, honestly, probably just Meta Knight doing this is better than some characters. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But here's the thing. When you're running, right, with a dash state, then you get this, which is cool by itself, but then you realize, wait, you can cancel it. You can jump cancel this. And then you look at his moveset, and you're like, okay, well, that makes sense. A bunch of attacks, okay, piercing slash. And then you get to this page right here, and it says Condor Dive. And you're like, wait, what's a Condor Dive? That's a Condor Dive. And because you keep your dash state, if you do this, then you're able to do some really silly shenanigans. Like, if you just run up to someone, jump and do this, then you're able to just condor dive right afterwards and hit them again back into the ground and follow up from there. Condor dive also sends out projectiles, which is good for stopping enemy projectiles as well as applying pressure from a safe distance. You can run away with it, you can catch people high up with it because it literally will hit people that are like almost on top of the screen basically with how high it goes, and bring them back down. But there's one move above all, right? You can talk about his jab, you can talk about whatever. He has like a spin that he does that can like get people infinited in the wall, if you do it properly, and that's like all fine and dandy, right? That's all cool. But there's one move above all, and that is shuttle loop. Shuttle loop fascinates me from a design perspective because what were they thinking, giving a character this? So, because of the way this game works, right? You see how shuttle loop actually, I mean, it's like okay, it hits at a normal rate or whatnot, but it's not fantastic. It's pretty quick, whatever. You can combo it in or from dash attack, and it'll get people just on the wall being infinited. Which, by the way, this isn't infinite. If you just do it properly, then they can't escape. So this did have to be banned, unfortunately, for all the Meta Knight players out there. Otherwise Meta Knight himself would have been banned if that wasn't. But this is not only the greatest mobility option in the game, almost, but it also is a combo tool. You can actually pick people up with it, and just start comboing from there. This is honestly probably something I underutilized in my time. It's just such a wild character to put in a fighting game because he can just do anything. Every Meta Knight will just play different because there's like 50 ways you can play this character. And it's very like, I guess, Marvel versus Capcom-esque, where you can just do whatever you want. Like there's like nothing stopping you except for you. Like what you can do with the character is up to your limitations, both mentally and physically. What you know of the character, the matchups that you know. For example, if you block a Magolor dash attack, the multi-hit move we saw a little earlier, I believe I showed it. If not, it's a multi-hit. It's a multi-hit dash attack. You're able to drop shield and counter in between the hits if you know how to do it correctly, and then you're able to punish Magolor with that. Otherwise, he just goes to the other side of the stage and says hello, goodbye. This game matchup checks you so much. You just have to like know the matchup. Otherwise, you're gonna get cooked. Because even if you're doing your thing, a lot of the times you have to like know how your character interacts with their character. I know that may seem simple, but I don't know. It's there's just something about it. It's hard to describe. But outside of Meta Knight being the coolest guy in town, the honest to goodness reason that you should buy this game and play it, if you like it, is because it's $20 and it's really fun. It's got a lot of single player content as well, but there is a community that still sometimes actually plays the game this long afterwards. Will we ever get a Kirby Fighters 3? I don't know. Do we need a Kirby Fighters 3? You know what? If we never get it, that's totally fine. Because I'm just happy that we got it too. And with that, thank you for watching and have a good one.